good evening to one and all. I welcome back you once again to my YouTube video in this rainy season to discuss euthanasia, difference between active and passive euthanasia. We all know what happened in the Harish Rana case, who was fighting for getting medical treatment and was in vegetative state for the last 13 years. And after 13 years, he was granted passive euthanasia. Passive euthanasia means that we are removing any sort of feeding to the patient so that he or she can die immediately after that. Because euthanasia means the right to die with dignity when there is no hope of recovery of the patient, and it is very much clear that the patient cannot recover from this prolonged injury or illness, so he can granted passive euthanasia. Now there is an active euthanasia as well, in which an activity needs to be done by the doctors, that a patient needs to be provided some injection or some sort of medicines so that he can die with dignity. So this is what the difference between active and passive euthanasia. Now if I talk about the first case in India, it was Aruna Senabag case. During Aruna Senabag case, she was assaulted sexually and was in vegetative state for 42 years. And after 42 years of fighting with this prolonged illness, she was granted passive euthanasia, in which she could die. And same was the case of Harish Rana, who was fighting for 13 years. Now here the issue comes in euthanasia is that why this granting of passive euthanasia by courts is taking so much time, because it was for the 13 years and it was not only for the patient but also for the parents. They were facing a lot of mental, psychological and financial stress on them, and they were granting him for the last many years. So they could have provided passive euthanasia grant by courts at the earliest. So what needs to be done at the hospital level? At hospital level, we need proper decision making. There must be a primary and secondary committee of the doctors in the hospital which can monitor the situation, as well as which can make a proper contact with the loved ones of the parents so that they can guide them properly in this case, and as well as reduce their stress psychologically. And this guiding or making a contact with the loved ones of the patient and as well as with the patient is very important in this case. And this committee can help them, and also in doing the decision making task, this committee can take a better decisions or the earliest decision in this case in providing euthanasia to the patient. Now if I talk about dignity, right to dignity is also there. Right to die with dignity is also there in Article 21. When we talk about Article 21, it is a right to life with dignity, but right to die with dignity was also included in them at the earlier. So it is very important to deal with issue at the earliest by the courts, because passive euthanasia cases are increasing, and we all know with the technological and medical advancements, the treatment is very much possible, but there are some cases where full recovery is not possible. Not only the full recovery, but even the smallest recovery is not possible, and in that case person keep on bed in the hospital for prolonged years, and this is very psychological issue for the parents and as well as for the patients. So this needs to be done, because right to die with dignity is one of the most vexing challenge with this technological advancement, not only in India but also in the whole world. Thank you.